because they certainly don't all make it into recycling. I just think we need to be talking about this on a very minimal level. I think that we ought to get a form established that has any department that wants to use bottled water has to meet certain criteria, and that we need to be very clear on what that criteria is. We need to be working with MSWA on something like that. I'm very concerned about spending money on that, and I just don't think it's really warranted to do it except in extreme circumstances. We all sort of avail ourselves of it if it's there, but until we stop buying it, we're not going to be able to implement that. So I think we really need to think about that very seriously and take that up next year in terms of what a policy would be about the consumption of bottled water, but with county funds. Thank you.
I would actually prefer to work with the CEO's office to look at that now and not wait until next year, because I really don't want to issue an RFP based on the current usage. If we're going to change that, I'd rather do what Supervisor Smith is suggesting and work with Mr. Mitchell to get that accomplished, develop a form, send it out to departments, get a tally of what it is, and then we can make a determination if we need to go out for an RFP for the remaining folks that meet the criteria for bottled water.
Mm-hmm. Supervisor Koufax was next.
Yeah, I'm concerned here about the environmental impact. We've become conscious of this only within the last half dozen years, I think nationally, and I think it's almost like providing cigarettes to, and at one level, providing cigarettes to people so they don't have to go take time off from work to go and buy them, or use their free time better, whatever. It's just a symptom here of, I think, of some assumptions we make, and it should have no excuse really for making the assumption. Provide your own water from the tap. Water's good enough. There's evidence that the whole syndrome here that has developed over the last 20 years of bottled water being somehow something everybody needs. I take advantage of it as like other people. But again, environmentally, it's massively destructive, and in that regard, we need to pay attention to it.
Supervisor Pinches.
Yeah, first of all, water, as far as this county is concerned, that should be a private purchase if it's going. It's either supplied in the tap, or if they want to buy bottled water, they can do that. And the department, as Supervisor Delbar said, can do that. But there's a bigger issue here. If you go out and do an RFP and then you get a good deal and you buy all the water together, then that means we're going to have county employees going around distributing water to all departments. So I don't want to get into that. I think bottled water, if you want bottled water, you buy it yourself. If through the tap, it's supplied for departments and everything. I think we got bigger fish to fry than this issue, but I don't.
Well, and I think, Mr. Mitchell, and I appreciate your comments on this. It gives us some support to do some things.
Okay. Is that all right?
We'll take a look. We do have a list developed of everybody that has bottled water currently, so we'll take a look at how we'll proceed from here based on your board's comments.
And from the chair, I'm more concerned with some of the very few facilities you mentioned that might not have water availability at all. Certainly those, if not for standard decency and cleanliness, need to have some kind of water. So I would think that would be the priority, and all the rest of it is out the window and go from there. Is that the understanding of the board? Is that correct?
We're using buckets.
Okay. So you have direction, I think. All right. We have just a couple minutes, and we have Planning and Building Director Frank Lynch here for item 18. If we can take that up before the two supervisors have to leave, save some time. Supervisor Delbar, I believe, pulled this.
Well, Mr. Chairman, just to quickly, we've authorized in our budget the purchase of a vehicle for planning and building, and this is an amendment to that to the tune of over $6,000 so that we can purchase a hybrid. I'm not sure that that's something that I'm necessarily supportive of at this time, given the financial constraints that we're facing. Kind of goes along the lines of buying the water. So if we can get by with a regular vehicle, then maybe we should do that and forego another $6,000 expenditure. But it's just my thoughts on this item.
Comments from the board? Supervisor Pinches?
Well, we've been having these discussions at MTA about that, and what is if you spend the extra money to buy a hybrid vehicle, what is it, gas now approaching, I just filled up this morning, I think at $2.17. So how long does it take to acquire savings? Or has anybody ever, I mean, what is, I know it's real politically correct and everything to buy a hybrid car right now, but for the extra money, at $2 gasoline, in the lifetime of that vehicle, do you get that money back? I
Yeah.
think not.
Based about 8 years, 10,000 miles a year
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
at $2.
Do we
a
keep
gallon,
county
50
cars for 8
gallons.
years in building and planning?
I'm going to jump in the fray here. I've been accused of being a greenie in disguise, and I have a hybrid vehicle myself. I traded in 2 vehicles. One was to purchase a hybrid, and the other one was downsized from a four-wheel drive 8-cylinder to a 6-cylinder vehicle. 3 years ago's price of fuel, I saved $250 the first month in gas. So I think the payoff is more than enough. I would ask for approval of the amendment to purchase this vehicle.
Is that a motion?
I can't make a motion, but...
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Seconded.
There is a motion and a second.